Hey friends, I'm back with another copycat recipe, and this time I'm taking just these few simple ingredients and making some delicious potato lentil burritos. I'm copycatting another YouTuber. Julia Pacheco makes these wonderful emergency inexpensive budget meals for anyone who's struggling or needs to stretch their food dollar. And she makes them so flavorful that I decided to copycat one of her viral videos today. You will find out at the end why this went viral. It is just so delicious, so flavorful, and it only costs about $6 to make, maybe even less depending where you get your groceries. Now, you saw me just wash those lentils, make sure there's no dirt on them, make sure there are no stones, and then into a pan I added some olive oil, some diced onions, and then 3 cloves of garlic. I like to get that garlic at Trader Joe's. Each one of those little frozen cubes is 1 clove of garlic. And we're just going to stir this around and let it start to melt that garlic and get those onions a little bit translucent. And then we're going to add in 3 cups of your favorite chicken broth. You could use water if you don't have chicken broth on hand. And then we're going to add in our lentils. I'm just checking those one more time to make sure there's no stones or anything in there. And then while this is starting to cook on the stove, we're going to go over and peel 3 potatoes. I love Yukon Golds, but you can use any kind of potato for this recipe. And then we're just going to want to chop those up to little pieces. We want little bite-sized pieces because we are making burritos out of these. So you want them small enough that they're just little bite sizes in a burrito. I'll speed this up, but once I had those all cut, then we're just going to go ahead and put those right in the pan. Our lentils are just starting to simmer. Now, what makes these so delicious are the spices you add. Now, you could add a taco seasoning packet because the spices that go in here are almost all the same that are in a taco seasoning packet. But I decided to make it a little bit closer to Julia's recipe, which she just added spices. Now, if you can't afford a bunch of different spices in your cupboard, then a taco seasoning packet is perfectly fine, or if you just want to make it simple, but I'm going to add all these seasonings. We're going to start with salt, but not too much because that chicken broth does have some salt in it. And then we're going to go in with some pepper, some onion powder, some chili seasoning, and then I added some red pepper flakes. You could also use cayenne pepper. I believe that's what Julia used. And then some cumin. And the thing about this is you can really add your own seasonings that you think would taste good in here. Just make sure once you stir it up that you give it a little taste and make sure that you have a lot of seasoning in there. Because if you think about lentils and potatoes, neither one of those foods have very much flavor on their own, but they can be seasoned to taste very good. Now, I tasted that and decided it needed a little bit more cumin and a little bit more chili seasoning. And now this is where it gets super easy. We're just going to put a lid on this and we're going to let it cook for about 35 to 40 minutes. I like mine nice and tender, and that's about how much time it took. Here is what we're looking at. Partway through, it's simmering nicely. And then after those 35 or 40 minutes, it is nice and tender. You want to taste those lentils, make sure they're nice and tender. My potatoes did hold up. They didn't break all apart, so that's perfect too. Now, it's not much to look at this point. No, it's not. It's just going to be a brown potato lentil filling, but that's okay because it's going to taste delicious. Now, here's the best part. Julia used a little bit of oil, but I'm from Wisconsin, so in the dairy state, we use butter, and trust me, the butter gives it an excellent flavor. We're going to fill up our burrito shells. This recipe would easily fill up 10 burritos. However, I only made 7 because I filled mine nice and full, because we like a lot of filling in ours compared to tortilla shell. So I filled them as full as I could, even though it was very hard to fold these up without them squirting out the side, but I was able to manage it. What's great about these is they freeze well, or ours kept in the fridge and we had them for a couple days. Once you have that all folded up, you're going to set it in the pan right in that butter, and you're going to toast every side. And this step you cannot skip. This is really going to elevate them and make them taste so good. The filling is flavorful, and this will just give the outside a nice crunch, and it'll help to hold them together. You can see here, just that one little bit of butter is going to toast all of these up. Now here we go. This meal only cost about $6, and really depending on where you shop and how much your groceries are, it could even be less. And we're gonna end up with 6 great big burritos. And you could not eat more than one burrito. These things are big. I'm going to slice one open and show you what it looks like inside. It does not look like much, but trust me, the flavor on these is so good and so worth it. I can totally tell why they went viral. Now let's bring in the taste tester and give these a taste.
So I think you actually found Julia. I think you sent me some of her videos, right?
Yeah, I found her on Instagram. I like her a lot because she has a really kind persona, and that's really draws me to people.
She does these like emergency meals, like $25 to eat on for a week or things like that. And it's just really interesting. And it kind of stretches the way you cook and stretches your money, obviously, but also like gets you thinking outside the box. Like, hey, I don't have to have all the expensive foods. I could make a potato lentil burrito and it could be good. So it's not much to look at. It's just like, here you go. It's just,
that's what she said about me too. So.
It's just like brown goop in a shell. Now I have, she does say that toasting these outside makes all the difference. Here we go. Potato lentil burritos.
That's really like a good bean burrito, like at Taco Bell on tin. You know, it's very good.
You know what makes them delicious?
The sauce, the
spices, and that toasted, that crunchy tortilla shell.
Yeah.
I don't even miss meat or cheese or anything. These are so flavorful.
Really?
I can see why this was a viral video, because these are so good. I would definitely put these in my rotation to make again.
Yeah.
I love them.
Julia. That was a good suggestion. Check her out if you haven't seen her. Julia Pacheco, Pacheco, I believe.
These are delicious. We're going to go have supper so I don't eat it all in front of you. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.